Hello, hello, hello. My name is Tiara Nicole Riley, and I am so excited to be continuing the conversation around parenting. So, in my last video, we talked about self care as a mom. And part of the reason I wanted to start ish there is because being good to myself, taking care of myself, taking breaks, practicing a consistent self-care routine, which if you guys are curious what my self-care routine is, just let me know in the comments and I'll definitely make a video where I walk through my entire self-care routine. Okay. But also recognizing that when I am rested, I am a better mother. Now, starting there was important because it allows me to talk about what we're going to talk about today. So, one thing I want to talk to you guys about today is being intentional about how you respond and react to your child. I saw somewhere on social media, I don't know, but I saw somewhere where they basically were challenging parents to be mindful of the energy they have when they first reconnect with their child. Like maybe you're picking them up from school or whatever. And instead of looking them up and down to see is their hair out of place, are their clothes all over the place, or their shoes are all over the place, the first emotion that your child should read on your face should be joy, excitement, happiness, right? And so I've challenged myself as a mom to be intentional about when I see my kid, I'm running after, going up to her just as excited as she is to see me. I'm as excited to see her. I am joyous with her. We actually came up with our own little handshake, y'all. I'm gonna have to catch that on video one time and see if y'all can get that updated. But it is the cutest thing. And now she'll be like, okay, do this. And then we start the little handshake and I'm like, but making sure my kid feels loved, feels wanted, feels desired. And that's one thing that I've been intentional about since being pregnant. I didn't even tell, well, let me say it this way. When I found out I was pregnant, I was intentional about only sharing that news with people that I thought would be excited and over the moon joyous for me. That's it. Now, there were some people in my life that were offended that they were not told sooner. And it was rooted in, until I got through that first trimester, I did not want negative energy of any kind. I didn't want criticism. I didn't want judgment. I didn't want negative remarks or anything like that. And so when I was pregnant with the twins, I feel like that is what I got from these same people. And so from an energetic perspective, I really feel that that had something to do with me miscarrying them, because deep in their core, there was no medical reason why I had the miscarriage. It just was, things just happened. But when I look at the people who were connected to these twins, on both sides, there were people in my life that spoke ill of the fact that I was having these babies, or how even their father, like anytime he got mad at me for absolutely nothing, it would, like, his rhetoric was rooted in like either those aren't mine, or I don't even know why you want those babies. Like, it just was the energy, right? And there were family members on my side that kind of put this energy up around the pregnancy being anything but positive. And so when I was pregnant with my daughter, I was like, I'm only telling people that I know are going to be excited about it, right? Period. Point. Period. Until I got through the first trimester, because that is when the risk for miscarriage is the highest. But I say that to say, when I was pregnant with Kayla and all the way up until this very day, I am intentional about making sure that my energy is present for her, that my energy is excited and joyous and loving and caring. And I make an intentional effort to not be as critical. Now, be clear. I'm a gentle-ish parent. So the social media version of gentle parenting, that's not what I'm on. My kid has boundaries. My kid has expectations. My kid has standards. My kid has consequences for her behaviors. And sometimes those consequences involve her getting popped. Now, that's not step one, right? And I do create space for her emotions and her feelings, and I want her to be able to communicate and express her feelings and emotions with intentionality, and to feel comfortable acknowledging her feelings, right? And also, you need to do what is expected of you. So I'm actively raising my kid with boundaries and parameters, and she's a very well-behaved kid because of it. So I consider myself a gentle-ish parent, because when you say you're a gentle parent, what social media would like to portray that as is the parent that doesn't have boundaries with their kids, doesn't have consequences for their kids, lets their kid do whatever the hell they want and treat people however, and there's no consequences for their behaviors. That's not what this is. However, majority of the time, I'm excited, I'm joyous, I'm compassionate, and it's really interesting because my daughter's primary love language is physical touch. So I think it's quality time and physical touch. Now, quality time is my primary love language. Physical touch is my lowest. Okay, so God was doing this little jokey joke when he sent this one down at it. I said, ah. So I have learned to be intentional about her love language. And how one way that I realized that her love languages were quality time and physical touch. One, there'll be moments where like I'm watching TV in one room and she's on her tablet in the other room. She'll bring her tablet into my room just to sit and watch TV, like just to be in the same space, right? So quality time, check. I'm good there. I like that. Okay, I like that. And one thing that I'm aiming to do, particularly in my busy time of the year, is I want to do weekly dates with my daughter. So weekly opportunities for us to go to the movies, go bowling, go skating, go, out to eat, because we are foodies. Go to the museum, whatever, something to get out of the house and to not just be in the like everyday type life. So that's quality time. Physical touch. I realized her love language was physical touch because we were literally sitting on the couch one day watching TV and she just placed her hand on my lap. Didn't want anything. Didn't say anything. She just needed to be in physical contact with me. And I was like, oh. So I nudged her closer and all the things and trying to be intentional about loving her the way she wants to be loved, not just the way that I want to be loved. And so also with that, like actively being intentional about all of the love languages, right? Because she's a kid. She deserves all the love I can muster up. So being intentional about quality time and physical touch, which seem to be her top love languages, but also words of affirmation, which is probably number 3 for her, right? Gifts is up there for her, right? Acts of service is just part of being a mom. But, and I think it's really back to like me having lost the twins and that appreciation for motherhood that has come. I feel like a lot of times when mothers are tired and overwhelmed and overworked and all the things, they take it out on the kids without even realizing. Like you're snapping at them, but they didn't, like what they didn't really warrant that level of reaction. So we have to deal with our shit so that we don't bleed on our kids. Like when I am harsh with Kayla, it's because Kayla did something deserving of being harsh. And my harshness level is proportionate to the level of the offense, right? But when I recognize that I'm tired and stressed and overwhelmed, I make intentional effort to take care of my shit so that my shit doesn't escalate my reactions to what she's doing. So I really want to challenge you guys to really be intentional about dealing with your shit so that you don't bleed on the person or persons that matters the most to you in this world. Be intentional about that self-care so that you can be present and loving in a safe space for your kids. Because again, back to attachment style, what are you communicating to your kid? If they make a simple mistake and they have to feel your wrath of fury, like no, they spill milk. Stop screaming over spilled milk. Bye, guys.